Welcome to the fifth part of the environment and the economy lecture. This lecture is part of the Marxian economics lecture series prepared for the Middlesex University Northern Cyprus campus. And in this part, basically, we were going to discuss how economic system reacts when the resource side or waste side impact is reached. We have defined the characteristics of the capitalist economy, and now we will see the way the system reacts to reaching the environmental sustainability limits. First we will see the reaction of the whole economy, and then we will see how this reaction will be basically might be decomposed into different parts, and we might see how the system will how these different parts will basically how will be the reaction of these different parts basically. Resource side case. Well, in the resource side case, at first, as we have already partially discussed, there is a possibility that economic system will react to reaching the limits by reducing the its use of the overused resource. And that's the case when the overused resource, when you start to take water from the lake, as water, if the fact that you are taking the water is depleting the water, and again there should be one other condition. If the fact that the water is getting depleted is also increasing gradually the cost of the water you take from the lake, in that case the increasing cost of the water might be very well make the users of the water just realize, this resource is getting expensive, and basically they might gradually shift to other resources. Of course, that kind of shift, in order to be make that shift be very drastic and change the production techniques, for example, they have significantly the increasing cost should be very high. For example, I can give the example directly from the water. If you are operating a power plant, basically you can cool your turbines either directly continuously taking water from a river and then sending that water back to the stream. When you do that, of course, you don't use that water, but you are using just you are polluting the water in terms of providing heat. But if you don't want to use that water, and if you want to have a different type of power plant without that water, then you need to build a cooling tower, which is a huge structure where you use a limited amount of water continuously to cool the water you use, and you use a tower to cool the water you use to cool the turbines. How do you cool the water? You use the air to cool the water. While the water is flowing through the tower, the air that is flowing inside of the tower will cool the water you use in the power plant. So transformation of your production technique might be costly, might be risky, and as long as this gradual increase really hurt you, you might not change your production technique drastically. And here state intervention might even hurt you, because when you are really hurt by increasing prices, you might ask state to subsidize you. Now you might very well not even react to the increasing prices, because state might actually harming you, not benefiting you, basically harming not you but the whole society by not correcting the price mechanism, but basically making price mechanism to disappear the signals it provides. And the other thing is, of course, the increasing prices might affect the people according to their buying power, and basically the increase in prices, that price signal might not be sent fast enough. It might be sent at the very end, basically. But you might, and if it is not felt, it is not felt by everyone according to, I mean, people feel it according to their buying power. Basically, the initial depletion might harm society, but that harm might not be felt by the people who have the buying power, and that might itself is a problem. And if the price mechanism is not basically if the price mechanism doesn't react immediately when the resource starts to deplete, well, that's the problem, because when the resource starts to deplete, it might be too late. But at least resource side impact may provide, there's a possibility, some price signals into the market, and here without state intervention, actually, without the very Keynesian tools we see after 1945, maybe if the price mechanism is gradual enough, fast enough, and maybe if the companies really feel this burden, and state doesn't rush to help them, the profits of the companies are really hurt significantly. They might react, and they might find ways to reduce the resource amount of resource they use. This possibility does not exist when we look to the waste side impact. When we have waste side impact, basically you deplete the waste, but the waste is not your problem once you deplete, even at the local level. Once you put your waste to the river, for example, or the lake, everyone around the lake will feel the impact of the waste. So in a way, yes, as a company owner, as the workers in the factory, you still feel the cost, but the cost of the waste you dispose are fed by everyone. So you only share as an individual part of the cost. And you might think, well, everyone is disposing the waste I'm actually disposing has very little cost on me. But of course, the collective cost of the waste you are disposing is fed by you also. But you might think, I cannot do anything about it. I mean, other people are independent from each other. So basically, I just consider the impact of the waste I dispose on myself, which is very little, you might think. So this is a typical case where organization of the society might help, and basically, I mean, restricting the waste you might put into the lake, for example, and organize how production is done in that sense might be useful. However, if you really want to market to work, if you really want to still price mechanism to guide people instead of an actual organization, which might limit the waste people put, or basically, I don't know, maybe some regulate the production process so the waste will be reduced. In that case, well, there is one solution that is offered, which is carbon tax for the CO2, but you can apply it to other things. Basically, if the waste you put is putting a cost for the whole society, in that case, basically, you just calculate the cost for the whole society in monetary terms, and let the company that is polluting the environment pay that cost. So if the company will bear the cost of the pollution in terms of the tax they pay, and they will basically since they calculate the cost, well, if they pollute less, if they reduce their pollution, they will be able to pay less tax. So when that cost of pollution is high, they might rather change their production process to reduce that waste. Well, in that sense, we have to, if we want to stick to the market, we need this carbon tax, which is an artificial correction. However, when you put the carbon tax, you need to calculate the carbon tax, which might be a difficult task. Again, cost-benefit analysis should be there. But note that cost-benefit analysis always, whenever it is done, it is very controversial. Because you set different types of prices, which are already varying throughout your any period of history, recent history included. So the prices you use are very much challenged. Also, the benefits you define might be challenged also. The amount of carbon tax might not be something people will agree on necessarily. And note that the economy needs growth, and for the growth you need also companies to gain profit. Even if the state is thinking the whole society, well, they will still think the growth is necessary. As a result, it might be very easy for the states, basically, especially when the impact is not national but also global, to basically not want to set this carbon tax amount, even if they want to set it to a very high level. And the main problem is, even with carbon tax in place, the companies would like to implement the radical changes, the changes that will actually reduce the waste, significant amounts, not very little amounts, at the time of crisis where profits are low. But when the profits are low, that's also the time when there is excessive pressure to have political changes to ease those companies. And one of those political changes which might ease those companies is reducing the carbon tax, like it's happening in the United States. For example, in the United States, well, when carbon tax is put, when the environmental protection measures were put in place, the companies increasingly start to lobby against that tax, against that very correction in the market mechanism. So waste side impact is pretty much more, we might say, darker than the resource side impact, where market itself has completely no solution, and the solutions without the market might also have problems, even though there is some possibility to correct market mechanism. Resource side impact has its own problems, but at least there is some mechanism. We might discuss efficiency, but at least we have some mechanism that is actually sending signals to the companies. So now, when we take economic system as a whole, how can economic system reduce the resources it uses, or the waste it's basically disposes to the environment? So let's have a formula here. Let's write resource extracted quantity. Let's write this. That means quantity of the resource extracted, or quantity of waste that is disposed. It can be both. It could be amount of carbon emitted to the environment. It can be amount of water that's taken from a lake, for example, or any kind of resource and waste can be put there. Population, affluence, and the intensity. So basically, first it's important how much resource should be extracted per unit goods that are commodities that are produced, or waste disposed per unit amount of commodity that is produced, and then how much commodity is produced per person in the society, and then how large is the society. These are three factors that are affecting this quantity we are talking about. We will talk more on that in the next part. See you in the next part.